I cannot stand Windows. It just pisses me off. Program just quit. It viruses, spyware. Oh, God. Just kidding. Back off. Nah, just kidding. Anyway, this is an update to my Why the Apple Hate video that I posted yesterday. I just want to say right away, thank you very much for the response. Very cool of you guys. I already got like 350 comments, something like that. Almost 2,000 views in less than 24 hours, so freaking sweet. Thank you, everybody. So this is just a follow-up video to give you my thoughts. Alright, so first of all, I just want to start out by apologizing. I admit, and I agree with most of your comments when you said I came across as a bit biased, because this is supposed to be a video about why the Apple hate, but just like, I think Sky Blue is her name, she said, well, why the PC hate, or something like that. So I agree with you, and I have to apologize. I'm sorry for being so biased, but I do not take back what I said. All that stuff is true, and I do mean that, so I'm going to stick to my argument. But I would like to say that I am sorry for being biased. But that's the thing. I wasn't really trying to come across as biased. I was stating the obvious. I just stated it in my own kind of way. As an example of that, I would like to say what I talked about before as the Zune looking like crap because it's brown. I'm not going to change my opinion on that, guys. I mean, brown is not an attractive color for consumer devices. It's generally white or black or assorted colors. And yes, I know the Zune comes in multiple colors, so obviously I know that. Obviously Microsoft's not stupid enough to ship one color, just brown. I mean, that would kind of kill it instantly. But the reason why I use that as an example is because, well, it's true. I wasn't directly trying to bash Microsoft, because I do like Microsoft for certain products. Like I said in my last video, my Xbox 360, I freaking love it. It's, well, if you didn't know, it is my favorite console. So, for the whole Xbox Live experience, and the game library is huge. And I think Sony and Nintendo could learn a lot from them, but that's a whole other conversation entirely. But the point is, don't think I totally hate Microsoft. I actually like the mice they make for computers. They make nice mice. Even though this is by Logitech, I'm just holding it up as an example. I actually like their keyboards too. I just don't like their operating system. Their nice interface and design from the Xbox 360, in my opinion, does not transition over to Windows Vista. I have used Windows Vista for a good amount of time, and I just don't like the whole arrow thing. I mean, it looks nice, but in my opinion, it's overkill. So, I still stand by my argument. Apple does design better products. But I don't totally hate Microsoft, so please don't say that, or please don't think that, because I'm not totally biased like that, alright? And I do fully respect your opinion. I mean, I don't force anybody to use Windows, or Mac for that matter. I'm just in favor of Apple. I'm practically an Apple loyalist. I love Apple. I try to stick up for them as much as I can, especially when somebody tries to make fun of them, i.e. on YouTube, because I see that practically every day. But I just don't want you to think I force people to try to like Apple, because I don't. I suggest it. If they don't like it, I move on. Big deal. It's their loss, okay? I know that sounds biased, but it really is their loss. So, I just want to say, please don't be disappointed in me, because I was just stating my opinion. I know I came off as a bit biased, but I admit I'm a little biased towards Apple, because I just love the product so much. They're just so passionate about the consumers, and, you know, just everything's designed so well. The iPod, iPhone, PowerBook, iMac, Mac Pro, iSight. Their Apple Cinema displays are beautiful. Even though they're a bit overpriced, I will give you that. They need to come down, especially when compared to Dell monitors, which I love, by the way. That's another thing. I don't totally hate Dell, even though I didn't mention that in my last video, but Dell makes some excellent LCDs. I love them. So, kudos to you, Dell, for that, but come on now. Apple still is my favorite company. Alright, now for the whole viruses argument. Now, I know, I came off as a bit biased. Again, you're going to hear that a lot in this video. So, I said, you guys have to worry about your viruses, which is true. I mean, I myself was a Windows user for, well, practically my entire life, except for 3 years of being a Mac user. Well, actually less than that. But the time I was a Windows user, I know how to protect myself from viruses. I know how to use a firewall. I know how to use spyware tools, to how to, like, destroy everything, how to erase everything. And I know what websites to avoid. But it wasn't really you I was referring to, because the people on YouTube probably know more about computers than the average person does. Because you're on YouTube uploading videos, and the average person doesn't really know how to do that. I'm not trying to stereotype, but it's true. I mean, I doubt my mom or dad could upload a video on their own without my help, right? So, the thing I was trying to say is, the average consumer does get viruses and spyware. That's a fact. There are tons of viruses out there. Now, the Mac doesn't get viruses, well, because A, yes, lower market share because it's less of a target that way, so. But more importantly, B, because it's based off Unix. Mac OS X is based off Unix, which is what Linux is based off too, so it's very permissions-based, it's called, for those of you who don't know much about computers. But that's basically why we don't get viruses or spyware, because Apple's always asking us for our password or stuff like that to install applications. But I don't want to get too techy. So I would just like to say I wasn't aiming towards you specifically when I was talking about viruses and spyware. I was just talking about the average consumer, because the average consumer does get viruses and spyware probably on a weekly basis. Whatever, lisp all of a sudden. On a weekly basis. So that's all I was trying to say. So again, I don't want to sound biased. I know, there goes that word again. I just want you to know that I do know what I'm talking about, and I wasn't assuming that you get viruses. I was just saying the average consumer does. Alright, well, I think that covers up everything I've said in my last video. I would just like to say thank you very much for the response. Seriously, the response has been incredible. Over 300 comments, almost 2,000 views. It's just insane. And I got like 13 video responses, or 12, something like that. That's just crazy, guys. That's my all-time record. My last record was like 1. But still, that's really cool. And it's already my most discussed video on my page. So you beat me, Wii. Kudos to you. And I think I'm number 2 most discussed today for gadgets and games, which is really sweet. So I would just like to say thanks again for your response. I really appreciate it. And don't forget, I'm not 100% biased, okay? I was going to say biased, but I admit I'm a little biased. But that's just because I'm so loyal to Apple, and I care about design so much, and ease of use and usability and innovation and stuff like that. I'm just really passionate about it. I'm sure you can understand that. But remember, the thing that matters most is that I do not hate Microsoft. I have an Xbox 360. I love my Xbox 360. I already said this, so I don't have to repeat myself. But I just want to say that I don't only like Apple. I give everybody a fair chance. I just don't like Windows Vista. That's all. Not a big deal, but I know a lot of people don't like Windows Vista, so that's perfectly normal. So I just don't want to make this video too long. So I would like to say thank you for all the video responses again. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the messages and the emails even. So if you want to post another video response to this, feel free to. But if you want, we can wrap this whole thing up and move on with our lives. Or if you want to keep discussing it, that's great. I mean, I'm all for a debate. I love debates. So I would like to say thanks for watching, and use whatever platform you choose. Thanks.